up, dog? How you living, girl? Yes, indeed, it is the most gorgeous evening I've seen in my life, so what better time to sit indoors and make a video? Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Good old Frederick came over a couple of weeks ago for a little soiree. We might have done a little bit of work while he was here. Man has just done the funniest goddamn G1 redub thing I've ever seen in my life. There's 2 episodes so far, and I must insist you check them out. Here's one, here's the other. I might be in one of them, so see if you can spot me. But it is some seriously goddamn funny stuff, so give it a click and you won't regret it. Also spent a few hours with Nick Hardy, photographer extraordinaire, who took some really cool pictures of me, which I'll be using for various things. Brother also lavished me with gifts, such as the G1 Insecticons, and this gigantic custom wooden murder throne with matching t-shirt. So big thanks to Nick for being a top chap. Also had a quick chat with Fraser from Argonaut, who's given me some sweet tunes to use in future vids, and it is some alarmingly slamming stuff, so check it out on the old Bandcamp. But the reason I'm here today is because the TFNation crew have asked me to talk about convention season. And my god, is the UK spoiled this year or what? Because like, Rollout Roll Call is going to be the biggest it's ever been, and it's in London, and it's in July. And then of course we have TFNation itself, which is at the end of August in Birmingham. And being as I have kind of a weird perspective on conventions, the TFNation crew have asked me to do some questions. So let's deal with that, shall we? Before last year, what did you imagine Transformer conventions were like? Okay, so a bit of background. My first convention ever was not just Transformer convention, just any convention, was last year at Auto Assembly. And before that, I was honestly a little bit chicken, because I've been aware of like conventions for a really long time. Like basically since I got online and started talking to people about robots and the whole sort of scene and the whole lifestyle thing that we do. So all I really knew about conventions was what I'd been told by other people and what I'd seen on like YouTube and like documentaries and so on. So I always assumed it'd be like a big open plan room with like just people floating around for a couple of days. I didn't know there was any sort of structure to it or any real social aspect. Before the convention, I hadn't really hung out with a group of people and talked about robots. Like, I'd hang out with maybe 2 or 3 people at a time and talk about robots, but never, like, anything on such a big scale, like a big room full of folks. So I didn't realise there would be such a sort of kinship going on, if you know what I mean. So basically, I thought it'd be a lot more boring than it was, is the answer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you about going to a TF convention, and why? I must have been pushing an 8, 8.5. You see, the problem I had was that I've been aware of Auto Assembly since sort of 2008, but I'd never gone to one. But I had been putting out YouTube videos, so I've been sort of broadcasting this version of myself, this side of me, because like this is me, but like in my videos, like it's a very heavily edited version of me. Like the jump cuts aren't just a stylistic thing, you know. I'm very clumsy and awkward in real life, so my nervousness kind of came from that. Like I thought I'd have to live up to this because I make myself appear cool in my videos, but that's with lots of preparation and lots of editing and lots of sort of deliberation about exactly what goes where. So doing it live, I find very tiring. Because like, I'm one of these people who, like, I love hanging out with folks, but I get overwhelmed really easily and it takes me a long time to recover. So I didn't know if I'd be able to keep up, essentially. And also, people think I'm really tall as well. Because that came from like early on when I just had my webcam and I'd pop it on the desk and it'd look up at me and I'd look enormous. Whoa! So people think I'm like 6'8" or something. But I'm not. I'm only like 5'9". I'm just a little spud. Just a little fat round guy who doesn't know how to talk to people. So yeah, probably pushing an 8, 8.5 out of 10, just through the whole anticipation of disappointing people. How did your first Transformer convention turn out? Rather well, I have to say. Yeah, the experience from top to bottom was an absolute blast. Like, I'm meeting people I've been speaking to online for like 6 or 7 plus years. To finally put a face to a name and just realise that you have that same sort of patter in person, it's just such a kick, man. It must have been 3 of the best days of my life, honestly, because there I am indulging this incredibly specific aspect of my life, this thing that I do that I can't really talk about with like regular friends, or because like I'm the most annoying guy in the office. Like everyone else is, oh, what'd you do last night? Oh, and that's the pub, yeah, watched the footy. And then I'm like, oh, have you seen the new Titans Return reveals? Oh, they're bringing back Headmasters. Oh, Masterpiece Ratchet. Nobody cares, dude. So to be in a building filled with people who do care and share that enthusiasm, it was just such a blast, dude. And yeah, there was just lots of drinking and screwing about and being dickheads and buying toys. So yeah, I've gushed plenty about this in videos in the past. But my first convention was an absolute hoot. An absolute hoot. Oh, God, I hate myself. How much has getting to meet folks in person changed the way you interact with people on social media? Not a lot, really. I wouldn't say it's made that much of a difference. I just feel like we have more of a bond now. You know, it sounds a little weird to say that, but it's true. It just brings everything forward. It makes everything real. It gives it another dimension. You get talking to people online who, like, this guy's got a blog. This guy is a fan artist. This guy's working on the comics. You get to meet, like, creative people in the industry and, like, you know, toy designers, customizers, artists, the retailers as well, like meeting the guys at Kapow was a trip. It just gives you a more complete impression of the landscape of the fandom. Ugh, don't say it. Don't say fanscape. Oh, I said it! But yeah, you see somebody's name on the screen, you see a little thumbnail photo of them, and you go, oh, I know who that guy is. But then, like, you meet them in person, it's like, it's him, it's this guy. You know? Like somebody you've been reading about, but not necessarily taking in that behind that username and that thumbnail is a human being, and they're standing in front of you and saying hi. And that's weird, man, but it's awesome. So how's it changed how I interact? I feel like I love everybody a bit more. Why would you suggest folks go to TFNation? I think the bigger question is, why wouldn't you? If you're part of this thing that we all do, you know, if you enjoy Transformers on any level at all, coming to an event like TFNation is gonna be an absolute blast for you. Like, there's people to meet, I've covered that. There's things to do, you know, there's like panels with comic artists and voice actors and things, and there's cosplay and like creative contests. So you get to see like the best talent in the fandom all in a single place, just completely kicking back and letting all the love out. Is this making sense? Am I making sense? And I guarantee it'll be the best time all year for toy shopping. Because, you know, UK distribution, it sucks. We all know it. Entertainer never has anything. Toys R Us never has anything. TFNation, Roll Out Roll Call, this is where you're gonna get your toys. I don't plan on buying anything this year until I get in that dealer room, because that's where all the good stuff's gonna be. You're gonna have new releases, like hot third-party stuff, like out-of-print stuff, vintage stuff, anything you want. Beast Wars, weird old G2 stuff, Movie Guys. Is anyone still doing Movie Guys? Unofficial, you know, this Throne thing. There'll be stuff like that, you know, cool little accessories, custom stuff, Brainstorm suitcases, I assume. Don't be mad at me if that doesn't turn out to be true, okay? I'm embellishing a little bit. It's theatre, baby! Because if you're involved in any way in this thing that we do, this whole Transformers interactive spectrum of stuff that happens, if you're involved in any capacity, you're gonna love it. Your advice to those nervous about going to TFNation. Okay, I can see why it'd be intimidating, because it is a big deal, you know? A lot of us, you know, we sit at the computer and we tinker with our robots and whatnot, and, you know, a lot of us don't do well around lots of people. I don't particularly, but a lot of people super don't. So if there's any advice I can give you, it's get a squad together. That may seem like it doesn't make any sense, considering... Alright. Get one person. Just go with somebody. I mean, nobody goes to conventions just to be a dick to people. So no one is going to be there with the, get some newbies, because that ain't, you know, I like to think that we're above that. Everyone's there for the same reason. Everyone's there because they love robots and they want to just indulge in it for a few days. Nobody's going there with the intention of making you feel bad. Because if you're going to do that, then I'm going to kick your ass out. What are we doing? It's a party, man! So if you are super nervous about it, I'd say point 1, don't worry about it. Point 2, bring somebody. Bring anybody. Talk someone into going with you. Because, like, a lot of this stuff happens online, doesn't it? You must have at least one mate who'd be up for it. You know, just, it's only like 50 quid or something to get in. And that's less than, you know, one of these guys. But I promise it'll be totally worth it. Just, if you never go anywhere, you'll never experience anything. You'll never grow. You'll never learn. Who am I to talk about learning and growing? I've been doing the same thing for 10 years. Just in different houses. But, you know, the point stands. Just come to the thing! It's gonna be good! Party with us! Make it happen, baby! TFNation, man. Metropole. End of August. Birmingham. Awesome time. Alright, that's enough out of me. I'll see you next time.